we'd have an exam on Saturday.
Oh
Something
man.
I forgot about.
Oh man.
But
That
yeah, we would have like maybe one or twice a month. We'd have exams on Saturday, and it happens a lot actually. And so yeah, in the morning you just have like 4 hours of exam, and then you
4 hours.
yeah.
Oh my goodness. So is that to prepare
It's
you for Levac
it's
or something?
yeah, it's yes, exactly. It's the last year. It's not all high school. It's last year. It's like
Okay.
I mean, um, in America you have SATs. This is the
Yeah.
most common I hear of. You have
Hmm.
SATs, was it's kind of the same thing, and they prepare us to
Oh,
this exam. Yeah, by doing several examination like really on Saturday for 4 hours.
Turn this up, turn this up.
Your professional development is one of the keys to your career success. When you combine your desire to grow with actionable steps, your journey to success becomes an incredible reality. Welcome to the IncrediPaul Podcast. And now, sharing his expertise, experience, and excellence with the world, here's your host, Paul Faranbi.
welcome to the IncrediPaul Podcast. I'm Paul Faranbi. I'm excited you're joining me on this journey to become the best versions of ourselves by learning from each other. Today on the podcast, I have the honor of having Estelle with me. Estelle, can you introduce yourself and just tell us a little bit about you?
Hi, well, I'm from France, first of all,
Yeah,
living in Paris and working in Paris in a hotel as a sales manager.
awesome.
Yeah, and I'm 20, soon to be 28 years old. Yeah, I mean, not really big talkative person, but whatever.
That's fair enough. So yeah, that's so you started off right with that. So Estelle is really my first international, well, technically second international guest. So it's super exciting. There's a time difference between us. I know it's kind of
Yeah,
late, kind of late on your
it's
end,
really
but
late for me, but yeah.
yeah, it's a 7 hour time difference. But I appreciate you being on the podcast and just to get learn a little bit more about you. Just and then we'll go from there. I know you talked to that you're a sales manager in Paris. How long have you been there? And was there some things you did before that?
I'm new to this job. I'm new to Paris. It's not been a long time. I started in April
Nice.
as a receptionist, first of all,
Hmm.
and then in May I got the job as a sales manager in the hotel.
Nice. Quickly.
Um, I studied in Paris before,
Hmm.
so I went to, I'd say, college, but it's not really college here.
Yeah. So
It's not the same system, so but yeah, I
a
went to
little bit
school.
different. Yeah.
Came from Toulouse.
Too.
Toulouse is, yeah, it's a southwest city. Um, and yeah, it's hard to to start this kind of new job. It's really
Mm,
not something I did before
mm,
before. So I mean I studied events and management.
mm.
I mean most most of all, but yeah, so sales is kind of new.
Yeah, I can only imagine. Sales is a whole different world.
Mm,
Sales, event management. So my
yeah,
background's in engineering, so that's like speaking a foreign language to me.
yeah. So I'm like money, 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 please.
Yeah, exactly. No, so I you kind of hinted on it, like how the different school system in it is in France. Sure, my
Yeah,
audience is not really aware of what it looks like in France versus the United States. We can kind of compare and contrast. I know for the I know you're aware of it, but like for United States, from high school, people can transition straight into college, a 4 year college, or sometimes a 2 year community college, and then there's we have different entrance exams we take, either an ACT or an SAT. Um, Is that similar to what you do in France, or like totally different?
It is a little bit similar. I mean, when we graduated high school with a with the bac. The bac is like the last year of high school.
Oh
We
yeah.
take this exam. It's like the
Mhm.
biggest exam, and I mean, you need to pass it, or you can go to university.
Oh wow.
So yeah, so this is like opposition to America is not really a big deal. We don't make it a big deal like as in terms of ceremony, for example.
Okay.
We don't do all that kind of stuff. It's very little. It's very uh, it's a small thing. I mean, it can be a little party or something. Anyway,
Uh,
and
That's
after
different.
yeah, after we graduate from high school, then we have like several possibilities, which can
Mhm.
be either go to university,
Mhm.
university, which is free of cost for all French
Free.
students. You just need to like pay maybe 100 euros to get just to sign in. I mean,
Wow. So that's definitely a big difference. I'll come back to
yeah,
that, but keep going.
yeah, yes, it's very different. I mean, education is really important I mean, it's really important to be accessible to everyone, to all the
Mhm.
people. So you have the university, which is free,
Mhm.
but you also have schools. They cost money, but
Mm.
not as much as in America, for example. And we have I mean, America is really like it's over the top. I mean, it's way too expensive. I
Is
mean, people
really
take loan,
expensive.
yeah, big loans several years. Um, but mostly we have like maybe for 1 year, usually it's like maybe 8,000 euros. I don't really
Yeah.
know if how it
Oh,
is in
really?
America, but it's like, yeah.
Does that
And
include like room and board, or is that to go to
no, it's just the school.
just to school?
We
Okay.
pay it like monthly,
Okay.
and yeah, and it's basically so when you get to college, you start with what we call a licence.
Licence.
Voilà, une licence. And there are some schools who now like they name it, they call it a bachelor's degree, but it's different from America. I think in America the bachelor is like 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are 3 years, but we
Okay.
like to call it the American way, the bachelor. Um, so yeah, it's a 3 year. After the 3 years, you continue to a master's degree, and the master's degree is 2 years.
2 years. Okay, that's similar for us.
Yeah, 2 years, and then you get on with the PhD and all that. So, and in between, you have internships. Oh, we have as well something the apprenticeship, I guess, and
Apprenticeship. Okay.
alternance. We have what we call alternance. Students like they're enrolled in a college in a private school.
Hmm.
So they get to study, like for example, 2 days in a week. They get to go to school, and
Oh,
3 days in a company.
wow.
And the company will pay for their school and give them a salary as well.
Wow.
So it's really a win-win, I mean,
Yeah.
especially for
So
students.
you're basically getting paid to go to school.
Yeah, we
Wow.
get paid, donc, les alternants, they get paid to go to school and work as well with them. So school's paid. They get a monthly payroll, I guess,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
so yeah, and this is it's very nice because it allows you to get experience to work firsthand in a company to get experience while studying. It's not just studying and then doing internships. It's really
So that's the apprenticeship. So in the internships, is it that they only work during the summer, or? How does the internship work?
Internship, it depends on the school. Usually schools go from September to May, June,
Okay,
something
that's
like this.
similar. Yeah.
And afterwards, they'd have to do an internship. Usually when you start la licence, it's usually like little internships,
Oh,
2 months, 3 months, and the upper you go and the higher you go, and the longer the internship is. So afterwards, you'd be like maybe 6 months internship,
oh,
or
wow.
maybe yeah, 6 months internship. Some schools also require to like get to do an internship outside of France.
Wow. Okay.
But so yeah, internship is like a really a full time. You're for It's a full time
Okay.
job in the company.
Okay.
Whereas alternance apprenticeship, you're half the time here and half the time at
Oh,
school.
okay. Okay. So that's similar to the internships that we have in the States too. Because like you said, September to May typically. Some schools start in late August as well, and they'll get that in May. But really, from May to August is time to do internships. People also do summer classes as well, if there's this particular class they want to get ahead of. I don't know if that's as common in France to take a class or two
No,
over the summer. No, it's not.
no, not really, or at least not in private schools.
Okay.
Maybe in university, but and even we don't really do that.
Okay. Yeah. So
French
that's a key.
students love to enjoy their summer, so it's like it's
Yeah,
way too sacred.
yeah, I don't blame you there.
Yeah, we don't really like no, we don't really have summer school.
Yeah.
But we
Yeah.
do internships. We do
Internship.
internships and
Internships and
yeah,
apprenticeship.
internships and high school, like last year of high school, we would have exams or work on Saturdays.
You have exams on
On
Saturday?
Saturdays, yeah.
The whole year?
Yeah. Not every Saturday, but maybe like twice a month. We'd
Wow.
have an exam on Saturday.
Oh
Something I
man.
forgot about.
Oh man.
But
That
yeah, we would have like maybe one or twice a month. We'd have exams on Saturday, and it happens a lot actually. And so yeah, in the morning you just have like 4 hours of exam, and then you
4 hours?
yeah.
Oh my goodness. So is that to
It's
prepare
it's
you for Levac
it's
or something
yeah.
else?
It's yes, exactly. It's the last year. It's not all high school. It's last year. It's like
Okay.
I mean, um, in America you have SATs. This is the
Yeah.
most common I hear of. You have
Hmm.
SATs, was it's kind of the same thing, and they prepare us to
Oh,
this exam. Yeah, by doing several examination like really on Saturday for 4 hours.
okay. So how long is the actual Levac? Is it 4 hours or like a whole day or a couple of days?
A couple of days.
A couple of days. Oh,
Yeah, it's a
so
couple of days, not only one day.
oh man. So when they're doing 4 hours, that's a warm up.
It's yeah, it's several days because we have to take I mean all the curriculums, everything. I mean, we have French, math, physics, biology, English, German or Spanish.
Wow. Wait, so how
Yeah.
how many different languages?
Usually in school we have two languages. One English, and the other one is choice of yours. I mean, usually it's either German or Spanish. Now
Okay.
I know some schools have added like Chinese
Okay.
because it got so common.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who speak Chinese,
Yeah,
Mandarin.
Chinese or even yeah, so they do that. Some also have Italian. Um, but yeah, we have an exam for everything. Yeah, philosophy as well, history, geography, So everything. And this is like maybe minimum 2 hours for every curriculum.
Wow.
Minimum.
Okay. So this Lebak, and I'm sure I'm butchering the pronunciation. It sounds pretty, I think it sounds pretty similar to, so my background is I was born in Nigeria, grew up in United States. I think it's similar to the English system as well. They have an entry system, and Nigeria kind of did their own thing that they call JAM, which is everything that you have learned throughout high school or secondary school, as they call it,
Hmm.
you take an exam on.
Yes. Well,
So,
this is basically it, actually.
wow. So,
So
so
yeah.
what you're saying is everyone in the United States should consider themselves lucky that they just take SATs for half a day.
Only half a day? That's it?
It's
But
probably like 5 hours.
but I think maybe also the difference is I don't know, do you have like multiple choice questions
Yes.
and you just like tick the answer?
Hmm.
Yeah, we don't do that.
So none of them are multiple choice.
No, we don't have multiple choice questions. It's really like for math, for example, you have to write everything down.
Wow.
All the calculation, everything. You have to demonstrate that A plus B equals C. French as well. We don't have multiple choice questions. We have a lot of
Short answer.
writing,
Yeah.
essays, a lot of essays in history, geography. We have maps to fill in.
Oh, you have to fill in maps.
Yeah, in geography, yes, depending on how it is organized, because it's very weird. And
Wow.
everything has changed. Actually, everything has changed
Mm.
comparing to what to my generation. I mean,
Yeah.
now everything's changed. It's very different.
Is
I
it
still don't
easier
understand how it
or
works.
is it easier or harder from what you've
I
learned?
don't know, but I guess it's like the choice is yours, I think. I mean,
Oh.
you choose what you want to study more. Because
Oh.
in my time we have three kinds of of back.
Okay.
We have literature, we have economics, and science.
Okay.
Um, I got to science. In science, you would have like more math, more biology,
Hmm.
physics. In economy, you have an economic curriculum, which you don't have in science, for example,
Hmm.
and so on. And we just had those three choices. And now, what I understand is that they choose whatever they want to have. It's like they have maybe two or three majors and then minors.
So I know you mentioned earlier you said you're from Toulouse. Also said you're Lebanese. So tell me more about that. Like how long have you lived in Toulouse? Were you born in Lebanon? Did you grow up there?
Oh God. I've been to a lot of places. I was born in Lebanon,
Mm,
and then my parents left when I was 2,
okay.
and we went to Germany. We
Germany.
lived in Germany for 5 years,
Wow.
and we moved then straight to France, and we lived for I don't know how many years, but we were in Orléans.
Orléans.
So if we should say I'm from Orléans, not really from
Orléans.
Toulouse. I've
And
lived more than 10 years in Orléans.
yeah, okay. So the
I've
I was gonna
I've
say
grown
for
there and all.
for the people listening, the Orléans is the original Orléans because in the
Yes, it's not
States,
New Orleans.
yeah, we have New Orleans, which we pronounce it wrong and pronounce all the French stuff wrong.
C'est Orléans.
Orléans. But keep going. So you said 10 years in Orléans. So that's where
Et
you really
where I
consider
grew up.
yourself from. Yeah, where you grew up.
Yes, I grew up there, went to school, high school. Um, and then my mom got a job in Toulouse, and that's how we got to Toulouse.
Okay.
And then we grew up, and and I got to Paris. I mean, it's very recent. It's my first year here in Paris alone.
Wow.
I don't have my parents.
Mm,
I pay everything by myself.
wow. And I
So
think
yeah,
Paris is the most expensive city
it
in
is
the world.
no, actually it's Tokyo.
Is it Tokyo now? I thought.
Ye- yeah, I think it's Tokyo. It's been
Okay,
for a
Paris
while.
is definitely up there though.
Yeah, it's
I
in the
think
top
it's like
three
top
at
five,
least.
yeah, or top three. Yeah, it's so that's a pretty big
It's
jump.
very it's very expensive. I mean, it's way too. It's yeah, it's too much. I mean,
So
I live in a 19 square meter.
19 square.
I don't know how much in foot, but
Let me see. I'm gonna do a conversion real quick, real time. So that's about 200 square feet. That's
yeah,
like that's pretty small for at least
it's
for
pretty small for 760 euros
wow.
per month. Yeah. And
Mm.
I am not in Paris. I am not in Paris. I'm outside of Paris. So
Okay.
if I inside in Paris, within Paris, it's a little bit yeah, more expensive. The hardest thing actually is not even the fact that it's expensive or not. It's more the hard thing is to find it.
Oh, like to find a place to live?
Yes, it is so difficult. You have to
Wow.
have a long-term job. You don't have to be, in a how do you say it? You're not unemployed. You're employed, but you have this time period
Oh,
where
like probation, maybe.
yes, yeah, something like that.
Okay.
It's probation. I mean, the company within this time frame, they can let you go.
Mm. Yeah, it's
So and
probation.
don't not pay anything. Because here in France it's harder to fire someone when they're
I
on
know.
long term. It's really hard to fire. It's like it's illegal to fire without like really uh, big reasons.
Really?
Yes, you at least either you did something like very very bad, so you're really at fault,
Hmm.
or you got like several warnings. If
Oh,
you got like three warnings at work, they they are allowed actually to fire you or something.
wow.
Mm.
So I know something that's been really big here is just like a lot of tech companies like Twitter and Facebook and Amazon have been laying people off here in the States. So that
Yeah,
doesn't seem to be a very common thing in Paris or in France.
yeah, they don't really do that. The only times they do that, well, they a lot of people got cut off. They
Mm.
got fired of work, but usually they would use the excuse of
Oh,
economical, uh, because they don't have enough money, so they would be cutting off a lot of people at the
okay.
same time. And every year, every time this happens, there's a lot of it gets on the news, it gets huge.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
uh, and they get. I mean, the people that got fired get kind of not a lot of money, but they got the money. I mean, they get money, and then they get some help, and they get,
Okay.
the government, uh, yeah, help to get back on track and find a
Okay.
new job.
That's
Yeah,
good.
government gives us money.
The government, yeah, that's
This is
good.
how I could like really say it in a very familiar way. The government gives us money.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's probably similar to what we have as like well, we have if you are out of a job, you have to file for unemployment, but
Mm.
that doesn't necessarily guarantee that you're going to get money because depending on if you quit or if you're fired. And I don't know too much about it because I haven't experienced it personally, fortunately. But there's a lot of stipulations that you may or may not get money in the US.
Yeah. It happens to us as well. I mean, depending on what you did and how long you have worked in the company or how you left the company.
Okay.
If you if you got fired
Mhm.
by the company, you get I mean unemployment help.
Okay. Yeah.
You get money. If you decided to go, you don't get it. You
Okay.
have to wait a little bit before you're getting it. And what they do here in France is sometimes they find an agreement. They sign off an agreement between the company and the employee to end the contract.
Oh.
And in this way, the employee can get the help from the government. But it's not really like maybe people will think that okay, we get paid by the government, but it's not really true actually because we pay it. We
Oh
pay
yeah.
it.
That's taxes. Yeah.
No, it's not really taxes. It's really in our paycheck. I mean, not paycheck, but in description.
Okay.
Some of our salaries amount goes to this.
Oh, it goes directly to paying if you're not working.
Yes, to
Okay.
paying if you're not working, paying when you get retired as well.
Yeah. Okay.
So everyone here in France is working and putting money into the two things, retirement and unemployment. And we actually pay for other people. Today, work is so hard.
Mm.
I mean, the environment,
Hmm.
it's very hard. A lot of burnouts, a lot of
Yeah.
it's a harsh world. I'd
Yeah.
say.
It's true. It's true.
And everything is expensive, and you get a salary, but we pay a lot of taxes. So
Hmm.
there are a lot of people who currently are like, okay, well, I'm just gonna stay unemployed for a while. The government's paying me. I get the money, and I don't have, you know, uh, I'm living good. I'm at home. Everything's fine. I do whatever I want. It's actually what I did a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I did
Yeah.
that a little bit, but it was like during COVID-19.
Yeah.
I kind of enjoyed it of being unemployed and getting paid for being unemployed.
Yeah.
I didn't have any rent to pay. Um, but it's nice because you can just like focus on yourself.
Yeah. That's
And
good.
afterwards, when you get to the end of this of the unemployment help, when you get at the end of it, because not it doesn't work forever. When you
Yeah.
get at the end, this is where you have like real pressure. You know, like you should find a job, and now.
Ah. Okay. Okay.
But some people can stay unemployed for 2 years.
2 years, really?
Yeah.
That's really interesting. I was thinking of something. Oh yeah. So you mentioned that part of your paycheck goes to unemployment. The other part goes to
Retirement.
retirement. What about is part of it healthcare? Or is that separate?
It's separate.
It's separate. Okay.
Separate of healthcare. It's an addition as well. I mean, we're a very social country. So we pay for everything to get
Yeah.
everything for free, but actually nothing's free.
Nothing's free. You're
But no,
paid for.
I'm kidding because actually what we pay doesn't even cover what it's what the real cost. I mean, no, it doesn't even cover the real cost. No one here in France will pay $10,000 something, 10,000 euros for, I mean, for getting in the hospital. You will never pay that.
Really?
Everything is taken care of by the government.
Wow.
They pay some part of it, and
Mhm.
we as citizens pay another part
Okay.
uh, throughout our paycheck, our salary.
Okay.
We have a universal healthcare,
Hmm.
which is, I mean, it's mandatory for everyone. Uh, there's even a system for those for people who don't have papers in France.
Really?
Yeah, so foreigners and all those people who don't have papers, everyone is allowed to to get hospitalized, to get medical treatments.
Wow.
The only thing that differs is like um, main health issues is usually free. But if
Okay.
you add things, for example, I don't know,
Hmm.
the eye doctor, dermatologist,
Oh, like a
various things like
specialist. Yeah.
specialized, yeah. Um, you pay on your own,
Okay.
but we have a cover, une mutuelle, and you have that as well in America, I think.
Yeah, we have I'm trying to think of what it's called. I know exactly what you're saying.
And
Uh,
usually
or
this is
copay or like
usually those are the company pays for them.
oh, okay.
We don't we yeah, they pay it. It is included. We are directly like when you get hired in a company,
Mhm.
you're automatically linked to this health cover. I don't know how you say that, but to the
Yeah,
mutuelle.
yeah. It's health coverage.
Yeah.
So that's really interesting. Comparing with the states, which I know you're already somewhat aware of it, that we have deductions for retirement and for unemployment and for healthcare, but the healthcare does not cover everyone.
Yeah.
It only covers the elderly and for people who are unemployed.
Mm,
And then everything is just through your employer. Because the United States is very capitalistic to a fault. I will
yeah.
say some people it benefits, but if a lot of people it does not benefit as
Mm.
well.
Well, this is what kind of uh, what kind of shocked me when when I visited the United States
Mm-hmm.
is that I mean, yeah, it is a very capitalist system. Either if you work and you get paid and you get money and you can do a
Yeah.
lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't work, I mean, you're just out of the picture.
Yeah. Yeah. You
And
don't
when you
get
see
getting
this,
taken care of either.
yes, when you see the difference, when I saw people like on one side, a lot of consumption. I mean, a lot of eh, rich. It's very rich on one
Yeah.
side. People are rich. They consume a lot. They go out a lot. They buy a lot. And on the other side, you see people on the streets, and but not a few people, a lot of people on the streets. And it's very disturbing. I mean, how can this be possible? To be on the streets here in France, I mean, you really have to have a lot of problems
Hmm.
because with all the help of the government, I mean, if you're on the streets, it really means that you're really like on the, au fond du trou.
Is there a translation for that?
You're deep down below, I guess you could say.
You're okay. I think I know you're saying
You're
somewhere
down
like
the rabbit hole.
yeah, you pretty much have given up on life, I'm guessing.
We all get help.
Mm.
I mean, if the rent is, we have like social buildings as well.
Oh,
The rent is cheaper.
mhm.
It's way cheaper, but it's like I don't know if you if you saw if you we have some buildings who look like each other, like very big
Mm.
blocks of
Oh,
buildings.
okay.
These are what we call HLM.
HLM.
HLM is social buildings.
Okay.
Those social buildings, the rent is cheaper. Thus that I mean everyone can afford it. And
Hmm.
in order to get an apartment in those buildings, you have to have like some kind of lower status.
Okay.
You can't earn more than, I don't know, for example, 10,000 per year. I'm just
Okay.
saying this like that. You can't have more
Yeah,
than
stuff
this
like
money,
that. Yeah.
and you have to be like the family alone and have a lot of conditions in order to be able to earn this to get
Okay.
this apartment.
Okay.
So yeah, and when I said it's very difficult, because when you have a good job or long-term job, you can get those social apartments. But when you're not, it's not even enough on the other, I mean, on the other side. So you're like, okay, I can get what the poor people have, and I can get what the rich people have. What do I do?
Oh man. Yeah, what do you
What do
do?
I do? What do I do? Well, you live in a 19 square meter apartment, and it's a student's apartment.
So, I'm curious, just for you, as far as like your journey and what you've done so far, is there anything you feel like you would have done differently if you went back to school now?
Oh yes.
Oh, what would you do differently?
If I had to go back in time, yeah, I would definitely just like go to an acting school, to an acting school or to cinema. Yeah, to cinema, study
That sounds
cinema.
that sounds exciting.
I would definitely do that. I mean, but it's too late. I'm taking acting lessons, so it's okay.
Oh, you are nice. I say it's never too late to do something. I
No,
know.
it's never too late. I have done too many things. I would be the last one to say it's too late to do something. I studied hospitality management, so events management. I studied um, business. I studied animation.
Oh wow.
I did arts.
Wow.
I actually did some acting lessons, so way back in time. Yeah, I did a lot of things. I did digital as well, which kind of sounds absurd, but
I think it's exciting. I know we talked about it when we talked initially in
mm,
Paris, that there's a little bit, it's different kind of feel in the United States versus in Paris, where I think you mentioned that in Paris or in France, they really want you to focus on one thing and be really good at it.
yes.
Whereas in the United States, it's not uncommon for someone to have multiple things or multiple careers. Like
Yeah.
I told you, like what I do, I work as an engineer, but I also have this podcast. I do speaking, I do coaching, and there's a lot of people like that. I would say I wouldn't even say it's the minority. There's a lot of people doing multiple things. Um, so I think that's another difference of to highlight between the U.S. and France, I think.
Yeah, it's true that here in France, or at least this is the feeling I get, usually employers would look for a profile that has, take an example, if you wanna if you wanna apply to a marketing job, I don't know, a marketing
Mhm.
manager, they would be focusing on people who did like really just marketing studies. Like they started with
Mhm.
a marketing bachelor and then a marketing a master's degree in marketing and
Mhm.
maybe with specialized in digital marketing. I don't know.
Mhm.
When did an internship in marketing and did so yeah, they would really focus and emphasize on this thing. Yeah, to get promoted in a specific field in which you want to work in. I mean, you have to be this linear, you know,
Mhm.
it has to be linear. Um, whereas profiles like mine, it's not really well seen.
Mhm.
Because usually, like, employers would think, okay, this person doesn't know what they do. Well, this person don't know what she wants to do, which which is actually kind of true. Uh, or this person doesn't like she doesn't stay in the same company. She doesn't. So they're kind of, and as like in America, it's easier to fire someone, whereas in
Yeah.
France, it's really hard.
Hmm.
And that's why employers are really, yeah, they're really
Ah,
uh itchy on hiring someone, because we need to hire the perfect person. If we don't
ah,
hire the perfect person, it would mean either this person will stay and we won't be able to fire her, or this person just will leave.
hmm,
But we spend a lot of time training her, and time training means money spent.
yeah.
And this person doesn't feel great. So okay, so I don't know, 6 months, 1 year, and she leaves. Okay,
Mm,
great.
okay.
So this is what's kind of difficult here.
Yeah.
Companies have a lot of taxes, can't fire the way they want. They would like to fire people. So we are making it really hard on the companies here, and
Uh,
that is why it's kind of it's funny, but it's hard to find a job here because of
mm,
that. It's hard to find a job, it's and that's why employers will focus on someone who has already like several years of experience in the same field, even if, I mean, okay, you might be nice, but I don't care about your profile. You just did some sales management. I want someone with marketing management
okay.
experience.
Yeah, they must.
Even if you studied this.
Okay. Okay. I see what you're saying. I would say that happens here too as well. Depending on what the job or role is, it might be really specific. And there's also ways, I don't know what the system is with the CVs or resumes in France, how easily you can like, because you can have some experiences that may or may that might be similar to another job, even though you're in sales management, maybe you did some things similar to marketing they can put on your resume. I know that happens here all the time, that
Yeah.
people will move that direction because they were in sales, but they were doing a lot of marketing stuff that are in sale while they're in sales. So they want to move to marketing or vice versa. So
Really depends. I mean, maybe if you're in the same company,
yeah. Hmm.
but to get to another different company is kind of hard.
But I think that's just like, especially what I talk about in this podcast between leadership and growth, is just understanding that as long as we're still living, we should still be growing, still trying different things, because we never know if you're going to like something until you try it. You also don't know if you're not going to like something until you try it.
Yeah.
But I mean, as long as there's life, there's opportunities. I know from what you're saying in France, it does sound a lot more difficult to get those opportunities. But I had a group a couple of years ago that someone they'd been in our mailing service, our post office. They'd worked there for 30 plus years and they did not like
Whoa.
it. And I asked them, so why are you still there? And it's just because they got comfortable. It was a
Yeah.
job, it paid well, but they didn't like it. It was hard on their body and all the stuff because they're constantly the conditions that they worked in were not great. But they've been doing it for so long that they didn't feel like they could do anything different. But I think that's just a part of understanding what are some of the skills you can transfer. Sometimes you have to take the motion. Sometimes you go on unemployment, go through different hardships. But I think it's always worth trying to do something different, and
Mm.
not living your whole life being miserable and just accepting it.
No, I don't do that.
Yeah, no, it doesn't sound like you
I don't
do.
have time to be miserable. I mean, before I had like the privilege of living at my parents. So if I
Nice.
didn't like a job, I would just quit. I don't care.
Yeah.
Now I have rent to pay, so it's kind of harder.
Yeah, sounds
But
like
I
it.
know that I don't want to stay longer in this company because there's some problems occurring and it's kind of draining my energy, and I don't want
Oh,
to do. I don't want to spend my time just worrying about work,
Mhm.
worrying about my health and mental health
Yeah.
and everything. I mean, I just want to be happy.
Yeah. That's
I just want
important.
to do something that makes me happy, and I don't care about anything else. I mean, if I don't feel good, well, whatever. I'll
Yeah.
find something else. So,
I,
and I wanna get back on track on with acting.
yeah, that sounds exciting. I think that's good. I think that's a good lesson to learn from people on the podcast, that a lot of times you might end up in situations that you don't like, but that doesn't mean that you have to stay there. That you can.
Yeah, because I mean, it could be kind of taboo, you know? Like
Mhm.
a lot of people criticize people who just leave their work,
Mm.
because, oh, you didn't stay, you didn't like sometimes, okay, you didn't fight for it. What do you
Mm.
want me to fight for? Do you want me to fight for being unhappy? I mean,
Mm.
what do you want me to do? I'm not
Yeah.
happy. That's it. Ciao.
Yeah, exactly.
Why should I hurt myself by saying like 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, if like it's been 6 months, I'm not happy.
Yeah.
At what moment will I be happy?
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
true.
I'm not even in a phase where I'm just bored of the job. It's just that I'm really unhappy of the job,
Mm.
unhappy of the environment, unhappy of the
Mhm.
way that it is managed on the
Mhm.
I, I don't need that. I don't
Yeah.
need that. So I don't care if you criticize all you want, but I just want to be happy.
Yeah. Well, we have been talking for over an
Yeah.
hour,
Very
but it was,
interesting.
yeah, yeah. And just like I said, it's just a conversation. I'm glad you're able to join me on it. I know it
Of course.
started. It's already been a long day for you, but I'm glad that you're able to join, share your experiences, share your differences, and just share that it's okay to do things that are not what everyone else is doing. I mean, we're all different. We all have different strengths and weaknesses, different passions. And I think
Yeah.
it's important that we understand that we don't have to be doing what everyone else is doing if it doesn't make us
Yeah.
happy.
As I said, I have a very versatile profile. I did a lot of things, but
Hmm.
people always judged me about that. Like,
Hmm.
okay, you don't seem to just focus on one thing, just to. But yeah, I'm curious. I want to try a lot of things, and
Yeah.
I want to try a lot of things. Okay, and I try something. Okay, I see that I am unfit or unhappy.
Hmm.
Why should I continue? I just don't
Yeah.
want to lose. I don't want to lose my time doing something where I am either unfit or unhappy.
Yeah.
So I
Life's
would
too
just look for
short.
something else. I mean, yeah, it's too short, and more so like I'm in my 20s. Afterwards, I don't know. Maybe I will get a family. Maybe I won't even have time anymore. So
Yeah, that's true. Very
just
true.
enjoy while I'm young and do whatever the heck I want.
Like it. Do whatever the heck you want.
Yeah.
So we'll wrap it up with that. So you heard it from here. You heard it from Estelle. Do whatever the heck you want, because
Yeah.
people are gonna judge you regardless of if you like it or if they don't like it. Doesn't matter. So why let that stop you? But to say thanks for joining us on the IncrediPaul podcast. Hope you learned something. Hope you were inspired by this conversation. I know I was. And until next time.
Thank you for listening to the IncrediPaul Podcast with Paul Ferranbi. We hope you enjoyed. Be sure to rate and review this podcast on your favorite podcast listening platform. We'll see you here next time. And be incredible. Incredible. Incredible.